21 June 1922. Appearance of Count Alexander Ilyich Rostov before the Emergency Committee of the People's Commissariat for Internal Affairs. Presiding, Comrades V.A. Ignatov, M.S. Zakovsky, A.N. Kosarev. Prosecuting, A.Y. Vyshinsky. Prosecutor Vyshinsky. State your name. Rostov. Count Alexander Ilyich Rostov, recipient of the Order of St. Andrew, member of the Jockey Club, master of the hunt. Vyshinsky. You may have your titles. They are of no use to anyone else. But for the record, are you not Alexander Rostov, born in St. Petersburg, 24 October 1889? Rostov. I am he. Vyshinsky. Before we begin, I must say I do not think that I have ever seen a jacket festooned with so many buttons. Rostov. Thank you. Vyshinsky. It was not meant as a compliment. Rostov. In that case, I demand satisfaction on the field of honor. Laughter. Secretary Ignatov. Silence in the gallery. Vyshinsky. What is your current address? Rostov. Suite 317 at the Hotel Metropole, Moscow. Vyshinsky. How long have you lived there? Rostov. I have been in residence since the 5th of September 1918, just under 4 years. Vyshinsky. And your occupation? Rostov. It is not the business of gentlemen to have occupations. Vyshinsky. Very well, then. How do you spend your time? Rostov. Dining, discussing, reading, reflecting. The usual rigmarole. Vyshinsky. And you write poetry? Rostov. I have been known to fence with a quill. Vyshinsky, holding up a pamphlet. Are you the author of this long poem of 1913, Where Is It Now? Rostov. It has been attributed to me. Vyshinsky. Why did you write the poem? Rostov. It demanded to be written. I simply happened to be sitting at the particular desk on the particular morning when it chose to make its demands. Vyshinsky. And where was that exactly? Rostov. In the south parlour at idle hour. Vyshinsky. Idle hour? Rostov. The Rostov estate in Nizhny Novgorod. Vyshinsky. Ah, yes, of course. How apt. But let us return our attention to your poem. Coming as it did, in the more subdued years after the failed revolt of 1905, many considered it a call to action. Would you agree with that assessment? Rostov. All poetry is a call to action. Vyshinsky, checking notes. And it was in the spring of the following year that you left Russia for Paris? Rostov. I seem to remember blossoms on the apple trees, so yes, in all likelihood it was spring. Vyshinsky. May 16, to be precise. Now, we understand the reasons for your self-imposed exile, and we even have some sympathy with the actions that prompted your flight. What concerns us here is your return in 1918. One wonders if you came back with the intention of taking up arms, and, if so, whether for or against the revolution. Rostov. By that point, I am afraid that my days of taking up arms were behind me. Vyshinsky. Why then did you come back? Rostov. I missed the climate. Laughter. Vyshinsky. Count Rostov, you do not seem to appreciate the gravity of your position, nor do you show the respect that is due the men convened before you. Rostov. The Serena had the same complaints about me in her day. Ignatov. Prosecutor Vyshinsky. If I may? Vyshinsky. Secretary Ignatov? Ignatov. I have no doubt, Count Rostov, that many in the gallery are surprised to find you so charming, but I, for one, am not surprised in the least. History has shown charm to be the final ambition of the leisure class. What I do find surprising is that the author of the poem in question could have become a man so obviously without purpose. Rostov. I have lived under the impression that a man's purpose is known only to God. Ignatov. Indeed. How convenient that must have been for you. The committee recesses for 12 minutes. Ignatov. Alexander Ilyich Rostov, taking into full account your own testimony, we can only assume that the clear-eyed spirit who wrote the poem Where Is It Now has succumbed irrevocably to the corruptions of his class, and now poses a threat to the very ideals he once espoused. On that basis, our inclination would be to have you taken from this chamber and put against the wall. But there are those within the senior ranks of the party who count you among the heroes of the pre-revolutionary cause. Thus, it is the opinion of this committee that you should be returned to that hotel of which you are so fond. But make no mistake, should you ever set foot outside the metropole again, you will be shot. Next matter. Bearing the signatures of V.A. Ignatov, M.S. Sokovsky, A.N. Kosarev.